Okay, good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from the Shoal Lake 40 First Nation and Treaty 3 territory. My name is Neil Harden. I'm chairing today's panel. With me via Zoom are Diane Knight and Bill Moretsky. The assessor today is Jennifer Martins, and the administrative personnel is Jaswinder Kumar. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment rule in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we'll limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of value by the board. The board is appointed annually by council and is independent of it in the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the point of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application is being brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You'll receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information on publications, live stream, recorded, and be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 9 on the docket today. Mr. Kumar, please affirm the assessor's and applicant's testimony.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Jennifer Suzanne Martins.
Thank you. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do so affirm.
Thank you. Mr. Dupont, please state your full name. You are mute. You are mute, Mr. Dupont. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
No, I have to repeat it again. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right. So the first property on the item today is 380 Maplewood. Ms. Martins, you can begin.
Thank you. This is file number 22-1561, roll number 12-000-816100. The address is 380 Maplewood Avenue. For the roll year 2023 with reference date of April 1st, 2021, the assessed value is $1,652,000. This is an apartment building. It's one building with 2 stories. It was built in 1955 with 21 suites and 13 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 10,818 square feet, and the plan area is 5,586 square feet. We go over to page 3. We see that the breakdown of the units is 15 one-bedroom units and 6 two-bedroom units. We have an average monthly rent per unit at $758.93. That gives us a gross potential rent of $191,250. We've applied a vacancy rate of 3.2% and an expense rate at 48.69%, giving us an NOI of $94,990. To that, we've applied a 5.75% capitalization rate, giving us the $1,652,000. If we look over on the last page, there's a street view, an overhead view, and a map just showing the area that this is on the corner of Maplewood and Osborne. Thank you.
All right. Questions, Mr. Dupont?
No questions.
Okay. Questions, Diane?
I'm just looking at the comparables for a second. No questions at this time.
Okay. Bill, any questions?
So for the model rent value that you used of $758, that would be with heat in the rent? Your comparables, most of them have heat and rent.
Most of them do have heat in the rent. I'm not sure if this it does or does not include the heat in the rent.
Okay. No further questions.
Okay. Just your expense ratio, that's modeled,
Yes, it is.
and kind of wondering, compared to a lot of the other properties today, that's on the low side. Why, for a 1955 apartment, is it like less than 50%?
Haven't really presented on the other ones, the other properties on the docket yet today, so I don't want to speak to them. But with that, it could be due to the quality, as because not only is the age a factor, but also the quality of construction and the quality of the property itself and the condition. So there's a lot of factors that put that on there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, can I ask one further question?
Sure.
Do you have pictures of the interior?
No, I do not.
Okay. And no permits have been pulled?
I'm sorry?
Have there been any permits pulled over the last little while?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess following up on that, there's no effective year built. So as far as you were aware, the city the property has not been upgraded or improved at all. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say that it hasn't been upgraded or improved at all. I would say that there hasn't been a significant improvement or a significant upgrade that we have inspected and deemed would be worthy of adjusting the effective age.
Yeah, just looking at the picture, it does seem like they got newer vinyl windows in them. Okay, thank you, Mr. Dupont. You can proceed.
You can go to the appendix. We try to get whatever we can from the internet, and page 18. So Sussex put an ad, and they say very little except the word charming little spacious suites, and that's what they say for all of them unless it's renovated. So they don't say anything about renovations. They don't give any photos. Do know that some Sussex had photos. Some with the nicer interiors would have photos. That's all we can get out of it from the internet. Now the questionnaire, page 22, shows the services that's included. It says heat and water are included, but not hydro. I can hear something in the background. I just continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So first page it will be shows a photo in the summary, the property. Then the aerial photo would follow page 7. So you'll see that the building has most of the lot, and they have a few parking in the back. And the Google map shows it's off Osborne, Maplewood, and Port Rouge. So the cap rate, we don't dispute the cap rate. The assessor got 5.75, so we don't dispute that. Now the page 13, we said building 1955, it's got low parking, it's got only 38%. You got small GFA, gross floor area per suite, 798, but we don't give it any premium. And we accept the assessor's cap rate anyways. So then the next sheet is the spreadsheet with our income approach. So at the top, it gives you the data, property built 1955 and the gross floor area per suite, numbers of parking 8. And the suite mix is 15 one bedroom, 6 2 bedroom. So line 1 and 2 and 3 are the income. Line 2 discounts is caretaker. Sussex will give some deduction off caretaker there, and sometimes they also have tenant discounts. That this time it's all caretaker. So line 3, we stabilize the actual 184,000. The average rent is 730. The assessors got a 759, so they're not very high rent. So the medium rent, or maybe even on the low side. Then we add the parking and laundry. So line 13, we're 188, and we're slightly higher than the assessor, 185. So our main dispute would be in the expenses. So the expenses, most expenses we stabilize are normal. So we stabilize at actual 2020 for insurance, utilities, taxes, caretaker. Then we do the average 3-year average for professional fees, office sundry, waste and snow. And this case advertising also. So the item that requires most analysis, the repair maintenance, we stabilize at that 1750, and that's on the next page, page 15. First 4 items in red are items that are normally capital expenditures, but we allow replacement. We don't allow replacement of roof, but we allow repairs of the roof. So we allowed the repairs there, which comes to 378 is minor. And windows, pools, and parquet, and those in blue, those could be items that if done all at once would be disallowed, and we disallowed the 2016 some windows and doors, 84,000. So I believe Mr. Hartney had spotted that in the photos. We disallowed that year, and we did the average of the remainder, so we allowed only 88. We allowed some parking repairs. Flooring replacement, we allowed the 5-year average, which is 248, which is about half of the benchmark 500. So it's on low side. Appliance, we stabilized 104, 5-year average, which is about half of the benchmark. Paintings on the low side also. Counters and cupboards is very low. So the suite upgrades would be in those 4 items, and they are on the low side, less than the 8-year life, because the 500 225 are the maximum. Those are based on 8-year lives, 8-year cycles, where to replace after 8 years. Other items, we disallowed the 2 high years, fire and safety. They're shown in red. We disallowed the 1 high year and building exterior, and the grounds, we disallowed the high year in 2016. And then everything that has been allowed is shown as 1750 is what we had stabilized that. And the bottom line is the repair maintenance per suite, excluding the capex, the first 4 items, and the waste and snow. These are the amounts. So that actually 2016 is too high at 7,800. Other years at 2,000, 1,900, 1,700, and last year 805. But when we stabilized at 1,750, we put that in the previous page, page 14. So our expenses are 109,000, line 31 versus the assessor at 90,000. So we got 19,000 difference in the expenses. And then we get the net OI, and the cap rate is undisputed. So our value is 1,377,000 versus the assessor 1,652. That's my report. Thank you.
Questions, Ms. Martins?
No, thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions of?
Yeah, on page 14, a couple things, line 14.
Yes.
So it's 2017, 18, 19, 2020 has 10,171, and then you carry that forward. You're not using the average because that's the actual, correct?
Yes, and the
And what-
20, sorry, I was going to explain that 2019 is always low for Sussex. A whole bunch of properties I've had, for some reason, they had low insurance when they reported.
And so they carried it forward and added it into 2020, or what do you think?
If you give me a minute, I can check on the computer.
Yeah, because that's quite a high number.
Okay, I'm checking. All right, insurance in 2021 was 74.67. So I would change my my valuation here for the insurance. Yeah, so next year 74, we can't use that because it's after reference year.
Mhm.
And 3-year average is too low at 53.73. I would suggest you could add 2,500 to the NOI for the insurance.
Okay, now then the management fee, again, it's 68, 74, 77, 79, average is 76, but you use the actual, the 5%?
Yeah, that's 5% is what we allow on all properties. We've gone to the municipal board and we both agree on both sides that the management fee 5% is sacred. Every property should get the 5%.
Okay.
And then the Sussex may have ownership on those and they may charge themselves less than the 5%. So that is a standard that used by both sides.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
On page 15, went through the various items. Did you discuss the last line, remaining repair and maintenance? You have an amount of 12,153 average, and you use 10,026 stabilized. What's in that remaining R&M?
We'd have to go to the appendix, page 23. So if you got page 23, we have some red notes so that we categorize certain things in the red notes, and the remainder is what we have not categorized. So page 23, the appliance repair, 359 would go there, carpet cleaning would go there, equipment, miscellaneous interior. These are supplies and cleaning goes in there. And then that's it. So those are the items that go in there. The items that we did not categorize in the above.
This is for 2020. This
Yes,
appendix.
and
So if we added up those ones with the red text beside, it would add up to the amount you had in 2020. The remaining R&M, that'd be correct, if I understand that correctly.
the repair maintenance shows in two places. So page 23, then at the bottom, the landscape ground that goes under grounds. Waste and snow is not repair and maintenance, but the second page, well, under payroll, where they have miscellaneous interior, that's repair maintenance, and then they have wages, painting, and those two items are usually moved up to the repair maintenance. So all those items in red would be shown in the individual categories, and the remainder would be the items that we did not list.
Opposite what I had originally thought. Okay.
Yeah, so you would have to take the totals 14,386 at the ground and the two on the other page to get what the remaining is. Or you can just eyeball the 259, 577, 8. There's 6 items you can add and see what the remaining items are.
No further questions. Thank you.
All right, and I have no questions, so thank you. And just for your information, if you add that 2,500 onto your NOI capped at 5.75, you get 1,421,000.
Okay, 19421 revised.
Okay, and now we will go to our second property today. Let me just open the files. 738 Nassau. All right, Ms. Martins, you can begin on 738 Nassau.
Thank you. This is file number 22-1589. The roll number is 12011111000, 738 Nassau Street South. The roll year is 2023 with a reference date of April 1st, 2021. The assessed value is $3,470,000. This is an apartment, one building, 2 stories. It was built in 1975. There are 45 suites and 27 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 66,103. The plan area is 12,009 square feet. We go to page 3. You see that there are 45 units. 30 of them are 1 bedroom. 15 of them are 2 bedroom. We have an average monthly rent per unit at $783.60. This gives us a gross potential rent of $423,144. We've applied a vacancy rate of 3.2% and an expense rate at 52.14%. This gives us an NOI of $196,036. We've applied a capitalization rate of 5.65% And that gives us our 3,470,000. We do have some comparables on page 4. And we do have some rental information on page 8 and on. And we have some pictures on page 11. This one's a little tougher to show the pictures of the street view. But if you look on the middle of the page 11, you see an overhead view showing the outline of the property. And then on the bottom page, you can see it's in that area right between, right near the corner of Morley and Osborne. Okay, and that's everything. Thank you very much.
Okay, questions, Henry?
I believe you show a basement on your first page, basement area, 10,679. Do you know if there's any suites there?
No idea.
That's all questions I have.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
No interior pictures?
No interior pictures.
And the entrance to this is off the back lane, then I take it, or off of NASA? I'm just.
That the top picture up there, that's the view from NASA. So that would be the
So they
front.
come in off of NASA there. Okay, I see it now. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
Yes, I do. Just give me a here. On page 4, your comparables. You have 1, 2, 3, 4th line item from the bottom, gross floor area per unit square feet. Is that the actual area of each suite, or does it include the whole building divided by the number of suites? Which
It's
is that?
the whole building divided by the number of suites.
Okay, so it would include some of the hallway and common areas then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only question I have. Thanks.
Okay, so this is Manitoba Housing, so it's rent geared to income, is that correct?
Yes, this is Manitoba Housing.
Okay, now seeing that the difference between the parties on this property is cap rate, perhaps now would be an appropriate time to address the cap rate evidence, if you could.
You can look on page 5. I've got the cap rate chart. And it shows the various cap rate evidence that we have just as the basic chart. It's got the 20th to 80th percentile. It's got information from, as points of reference, from Collier's CBRE in Cushman and Wakefield. And then on page 6, we have the chart that I'm sure you've seen. And it shows more specific capitalization rates to illustrate the accuracy of the model and substantiate the model-derived capitalization rates. They're not meant to be specific comparables to the subject property. And we have 6 properties here, and we have their sales prices and a little brief description of them, and the value per suite and the cap rate just shown on the chart for those 6 properties.
Okay, any questions on the cap rate, Henry?
Yes, the cap rate you have on page 6. Do you have any workup or income approach showing how you arrive at those cap rates?
I didn't submit it here today.
And do you have any backup information like the financial statements and rent rolls, etc., for those properties?
Not with me today.
So your total evidence is basically that paragraph with the 6 comparables for the cap rate. That be
Yes.
correct? Yeah. So questions I have?
Okay, Diane, any questions on the cap rates?
No, sir.
Bill?
Oh, I do not, thank you.
Okay, you can begin, Henry.
The first page is the photo. Whoops, I gotta rotate the right way. If you look at they have a front entrance to lobby, entrance to main lobby. So they are long buildings, but they apparently have corridors in there because that's their entrance. Then the second photo, it says very little and very small rear windows. If you look carefully to try where the windows are, on top floor they have a little bit bigger windows than the main floor, but they're tiny windows, the type of windows you would have in window wells, that small. So that part of the building where they have the parking, where they come off Nassau and they go in that parking, very, very small windows. Now where they have the wood, I think they probably have some more windows there, whatever. Doesn't give you the view, but to give you some light. And then we have the the next photos from the park, or I believe it's a soccer field. So the units back out to the park, and they appear to have the wooded fence there, or wooded, or some kind of patio. Then we have the aerial photo also shows the 3 long buildings. So the cap rate on this, which would be my page, the aerial photo is shown on page 9, but that's nothing new. So they come in off Nassau and they go all along the rear of the building. That's where the parking lot is. So I guess they go in from the back. Then the Google map shows where it is. It shows to the west of Osborne and Nassau. So the cap rate is page 16. Assessor's doing 5.65, and the property is built 1975. So it would fit to the our cap rates that we have determined from our cap rate study at the age category at 5.5. So as a base cap rate, 5.65, not bad. But we're saying we should be allowing for the specific factors. So we give it a premium. So the comments under the table says a condition, quality, social housing. So it's budget finish. Parking is inferior at 60%. Gross floor area is low at 837 square feet per suite, including the basement, but there's no windows in the basement. So I think the windows are, the basement is totally wasted. It's either wasted or they have no windows, which is inferior either way you look at it. So the above grade is only 599 square feet per suite. There are very little and very small windows in the rear. So we give it a 0.5% premium due to the negative factors. Then the page 18s are income approach, our spreadsheet. So here we show the factors on top. And gross floor area that reported by the assessors, 37,000 square feet, and then if you remove the basement, the above grade is 26,000 square feet. So that's what you get, where I get my calculations, 599 square feet above grade and 837 for the total thing, including the basement. So we do not dispute the income or expenses. So we dispute the cap rate only in line 34. So we arrive at a value 3,267,000 versus the assessor 3469. The appendix, we have a section on cap rates for affordable housing, various quotes saying there should be a higher cap rate because they're usually inferior finish in social housing, etc. Then we have decisions from the municipal board where they have given a premium for social housing. So that's my report, and thank you.
All right, questions, Ms. Martins?
Do you have any picture of the inside with the budget finishing?
No.
When the Manitoba government sells any of their Manitoba housing properties, are they allowed to sell them at below market values?
To sell?
Yeah.
Or rent?
Sell.
Yeah, they can sell at whatever amount they do. I know they have sold to Sam, and they gave a bunch of discounts for one of them was to make sure it remained as affordable housing, and I don't know if you're referring to that or not, but they did sell, I believe, 3 properties to Sam with some unusual conditions.
Okay, that's everything. Thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
So are these like a 3-story suite with, or 2-story with a basement suite? So each suite has the basement, the main floor, and the second floor? Is that kind of what you're saying? Or are they, I'm just a little confused when you're saying the basement has no windows and no use. So is the basement just laundry and storage, or, you know?
I don't know.
No
But
back windows?
yeah, you're probably right that it's 2-story, maybe, because they do have corridors, right? They have the front entrance,
Mhm.
so they could still be a different suite upstairs. And since the suites are only 599 square feet per suite, I doubt that a tenant would occupy first and second floor and basement.
Okay.
So
And it
what-
looks like there's a courtyard of some kind. Like, is there a courtyard entrance to those suites that are on the main floor?
But there's just of the only entrance I found is at the beginning there, the first photo.
Okay.
And I thought I had found an ad from them.
'Cause on the outdoor picture, I can't find it right at the moment, but on the outdoor picture, it looks like there's a fenced in area with a kind of a grassed in area at each suite. That's why I was wondering if they have another entrance.
Rotate view, yeah, my page 3. Where I take a photo from the soccer field.
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
road there, it looks like
yeah.
that.
The top story appears to have an overhang there, so it
Yeah,
could be a balcony, so that could be the second floor suite would be different than the main floor suite.
okay, so you've never been in this, you haven't been in this building then?
No, I was trying to make sense of those exterior photos with very little windows. Even the
Okay.
second story had the small
Yeah.
windows.
Yeah,
But I believe since they have the corridor, that there are separate suites second floor from the first floor, and since the suite count indicates 599 square feet, excluding the basement or 800 with the basement.
and as Mrs. Martins had asked, or Ms. Martins had asked, you have no interior photos to show the lower value or lower end cabinets and in interior?
No, it's Manitoba housing, so they are not allowed to give luxury items to what they are, because they're subsidized by the taxpayers, so their finishes are usually budget. So that's why the articles are saying that these types of housing are usually budget finishes and budget quality condition.
Right, okay, thank you.
All right, Bill, questions?
I do not, thank you.
Okay, and I have no questions on this one, so Uh,
I have the
is it-
cap rate study to present, but we didn't disagree on the base here. So if you're okay, I'll present it for the next property where we have a difference in cap rate.
Okay. All right. All right, so let's move onwards and upwards then. To item 3 then, just pulling up the files. 53 South Park. You can begin, Ms. Martinez.
This is file number 22-2992, roll number 03-063-094-100, 53 South Park Drive. For the roll year 2023 with reference date of April 1st, 2021, the assessed value is $5,916,000. This is an apartment. It's one building with 2 stories. Its actual year built is 1970 and its effective year built is 1980. There are 44 suites and 57 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 51,066 square feet and the plan area is 13,499 square feet. Look on page 3, please. For units, we have 4 bachelor, 22 1-bedroom, 18 2-bedroom, giving us our 44 units. The average monthly rent per unit is $1,099.59, giving us a gross potential rent of $580,584. To that, we've applied a 4.2% vacancy rate and a 46.93% expense rate, giving us an NOI of $295,175. To that, we've applied a 4.95% capitalization rate, giving us our $5,963,000. We do have some rental comparables on page 4. We go all the way to the back page past the income and expense information. On page 19, shows South Park. At the bottom, it shows South Park Drive just off Pembina Highway. Up top, there's a street side view. And in the middle, there's an overhead view showing the apartment building and the parking spots beside it. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Dupont?
No questions.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
I do not.
Bill, any questions?
The rent comparables. The first 3 address. Okay, those are all on South Park Drive, close by the subject property.
Yes.
Similar type of properties.
They appear to be, yes, with a similar suite mix.
Or do you know anything about them?
No, I do not.
Where did they come from? Put into your presentation.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, on South Park. Where did you get this information? How did you arrive at it?
Oh, that is information that was submitted to the department through the income and expense forms.
So how does it arrive on your brief here? How is it decided to put it on your brief?
In
You decide that?
our, we have a search engine in our computer system, and I enter in the property that I'm looking at, and I enter in certain parameters of things that I want, such as for this one, I indicated that I definitely want bachelor units, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units, and I did not want anything to populate that had 3-bedroom or 4+ bedroom units. I also entered into my search engine the market area that I was looking at. We've divided the city into different market areas. It's not just neighborhoods. And then I'm not sure if I did age of building. I think I might have done age of building because I didn't want anything brand new, and I didn't want anything that was built in the 50s. And this, I hit the button, and the computer system produced a wide range of properties. And as I searched through those, I selected these ones because they seem to have the mix of apartments that was similar. Some of them down closer to the end, there's like the last one, you'll see number 6, the mix between the bachelor and the 1-bedroom. It's not as close, but it shows a mix of bachelor, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay. And I have no questions, so Henry, you can begin.
Can I have a follow-up to that?
Sure, go ahead.
So for your rent comparables for the rent per suite, is that what's declared as income received? Or do you actually go to all the rent rolls and add them all up yourself?
I don't go to all the rent rolls of all the apartments and add it up. This is what this is information that has been submitted to us from the owners through the income and expense forms.
So do you know where your computer program gets the income, the rent? Is that before or after discounts, before or after vacancy?
This is before discounts and before vacancy. So it's the rent that they are, it's the rent that the owners of the properties are telling us that they are receiving for the units.
And then when you use the subject rents, 1099, you apply vacancy off of that. And you're saying your comparables up to vacancy already taken off?
Then if you look over here on our income summary, you'll see that the 1099 that's used in the monthly rent per unit on page 4. If you look on page 3, that's the average monthly rent per unit, and that is what is used with the that's with the gross potential rent. That's reflective of that rental number. And
right.
then
If you do the same thing for the comparables, that would be before their vacancy. That would be the rents declared before vacancy.
yes,
So
because
compare,
that's equally, that's comparing apples and apples.
right. And your model never shows discounts. So if there is in fact discount, you don't apply any because you don't have any space for a discount. So do you know whether there's discounts in those comparables or not?
It depends on which discounts you're talking about, but a lot of the discounts, they don't support they aren't as equitable as you might think because they don't support the market. Anyone can apply any discounts that they'd like to. For example, if they do significant renovations on their property, they can then apply to Manitoba Housing to have an increase, not based on the amount of increase that is the yearly prescribed amount of increase. They can ask for a significant increase over and above the legislated amount, and that way they can apply any discount that they want to each of the rents. And in that way, they can show a significant discount which is not necessarily something that every property owner does. So it's not necessarily market. So no, we don't put all of the discounts from that might be shown in the income and expense forms into all of the information for all of the properties.
That's all questions I had there.
Okay, Bill or Diane, are there any follow-up questions arising from Mr. Dupont's questions?
No, I do not. Thanks.
No, I do not. Thanks.
Okay, Henry, you can begin your presentation then.
We can go to the photos. So we go to the appendix, page 19. It's an ad from Towers. They'll show the photos to start with, then they have the building description. Under suite features, it says dishwasher renovated. Then the description on top, second line, it's large renovated suites feature new kitchens with new cabinets, dishwashers, tile backsplash, refinished flooring, new bathrooms, including soaker tubs. Then the photos shows that these renovations were done 2010, 2011, so they're about 10 years old. So the time they did these renovations, they were, I guess the laminate flooring was not in trend at that point in time. So it still has carpeting there. The next photo will show you the living room with the walk-through kitchen in the back, a small kitchen. And you can see the white appliances sticking out, and also carpet all over the place, dining room and living room. Then we have the kitchen. They may be new cabinets, but they're kind of plain, so plain white. The countertops, they're laminate countertops, so they're not quartz or granite. Then we have tile floor there that's not laminate, and white appliances. So the newer remodel suites will have the stainless steel appliances and the laminate flooring all over the place. So this is more of the old type renovations. And then the bedroom, it's oak parquet flooring. So I guess that was still in style at the time. And the bathrooms, you got new tub surround, which is really nice. And the vanity that it has. So it was renovated 10 years ago, more of the older standard. So if you go page 1, it shows you the photo. Then the map, aerial map is page 7, L shape, parking on the one side. Then the Google map shows it's just west of Pembina Highway. Cap rate, this is going. Okay, I have to check the top of the page is always taken from another report, and then I tend to have typos there. So the assessor is going 4.95. Yeah, okay. So the top of the page is just wrong. The assessor is going 4.95, and we're going 5.75. So the age group that we have from our cap rate study who placed this property at the 5.5% cap rate. We add a 1/4% premium due to risk from low repair maintenance, which is due from the 10-year-old renovations. So for the first 8 to 10 years, your replacement of appliance and floorings are relatively low, and then the life comes to an end for those items, and then they have to start replacing those upon suite turnover. So we'll go to the repair maintenance later on, so you can see that. So the next page is the our income approach, page 15. So line one, it does show rents and then they have discounts off of that. And as Jennifer said, sometimes those are not true discounts and not telling the clients we're charging you 608 and we'll give you a discount. That's the quite often the discounts only the difference between what the right guidelines would allow them and what they are charging. Quite often though it is discounts, so this one it could be either one. So we use the rents after discount, line 3, 533. That's what they got in 2020, which is 1,010 per suite for 1980. And that's relatively high rent, and the associates is even higher at 1,100. Then we add laundry, parking, miscellaneous income. Line 13, we got 534 and the assessor 556. So we're about 22,000 less than the assessor. Expenses, we stabilize normal way. Some items are the last year, 2020, like insurance, utilities, taxes, caretaking. Repair maintenance is the one we do the most analysis. And line 27, you'll see we stabilize at 779 per suite, which is very, very low. And we'll go to the next page, page 16, to show where they're spending the money. So the first 4 items in red, those are usually capital expenditures. So we did not allow the first one, the roof, we allow for repairs, but not replacements. We allow a small amount there, 552. Windows and doors, they're replacing it gradually or on a recurring basis. We allowed that. And so is parking, they're fixing it up, and we allow the repairs on those items. And those are per suite are relatively small, $13, $20, $9. The flooring replacement, you'll see they spent 862 in 2016, 0 for the next 2 years, $100 for 2019, 0 for 2020. So they have very low repair replacement of flooring, which is $4 per suite to be stabilized versus $500 when they're going on an 8-year cycle. Appliance replacement is also very low. That's $6 when that's $225 is the benchmark. And the painting is extremely low at 30. That should be one of the first items we should have. So upon turnover, they should be repainting, and they're not repainting yet. So if you're buying this, you would know that this is unsustainable. A buyer would know that the flooring, appliance, painting, the suite upgrades will have to increase in the future. But we stabilize everything on site specific, so we don't say average is 1,500 or something and give it more. We stabilize that actual. Then and we adjust in the cap rate in this case. The last line, 2017 extra repair maintenance, that's building interior, doors and windows. And then the 27,000 was suite upgrades. And HVAC 13,000. That was for 2017, where they spent 106,000. So if we go back to the first page, previous page, page 15, where we put in the repair maintenance. So we stabilize repair maintenance are really low at 779. Our expenses line 31 were 222, lower than the assessor, 261. So our net income, we end up higher than the city. So even though the city has got higher rents than what they're getting, we have lower expenses mainly due to repair maintenance. The city has a very low cap rate, 4.95, compared to their own percentiles, the 80 percentiles of the market reports. The market reports are 5 to 6%. So they're very low. We got a 0.25% premium due to very low repair maintenance at 5.75. So our value is 5,426,000 versus the assessment 5,963. And then the remark shows it was renovated in 2010 and 2011. That'd be my report, except for cap rate report. So thank you.
Okay, well, do you want to address your cap rate report now?
It's up to you. You can ask questions now or do the cap rate now. It's up to you.
Well, let's do the cap rate in your main presentation.
Okay, so I have to find it now. So it would be the cap rate called R7.
Yep, we have it. And I think
Uh,
most of us probably heard this, so just give us the,
Summary, I shall do. Yeah, it's 162 pages. We got no time to go through that. But we have the background for all the properties. We have 10 properties, comparables with the calculations, the income approach on all 10, where all the background on each 10. But you should go just page 161. We get our summary. So this is a rebuttal from the assessor that they have presented at previous hearings, which they have presented up to now. Anyways, the last hearing I had it. But it has a city Winnipeg cap rate calculations on our comparables. So they recalculate doing their way. So the first one, McPhillips, we're at 5.59, the column before the city, and the city is 4.79. So we have a major disagreement on this first one. The rest were close. So the next one, Corden, 5.73 is ours, and the assessor 5.74, and they have their recalculated cap rates. So they have three same cap rates as us. Their main report, I believe, is the first three. And then the bottom of their page, they have three other cap rates, 3200 in some 100 same areas, 203 Bertrand. And we have rebuttal on those two at the bottom, and we have a rebuttal on the first one, 290 McPhillips. But the last page gives reconciliation of the assessor's cap rate calculations on ours. So the last four columns, we show what our cap rate is, what the assessor is. And then the last column is what we believe is our final cap rate that we associate with each age group. So the first four comparables are for newer properties. And we have a slight disagreement on Beach and on Ward. We're pretty much the same. Both the subsequent cap rates, the assessor and Altus are very, very close. So on Langside, they're 0.2% less than us, but the cap rate we have for that age group is 5.5. So the assessor's cap rate supports our final conclusion cap rates. La Vérendrye is the only one that we have a major disagreement. We're 5.74, the assessor's 5.01. The difference in that one is the repair maintenance. The pro forma selling brochure stated that the repair maintenance previous years included some capital expenditures. They were saying storm windows and eave troughs, etc. So we adjusted the repair maintenance downwards, and the assessor did not. So I believe the assessor would have to adjust the repair maintenance, and they would have a higher cap rate. The next four, their virtual agreement with what we have and their recalculation, the last four, support our cap rate that we have in our last column. So I believe that except for new properties, the assessor's recalculated cap rates supports our positions. So we should be in agreement for cap rates from a pre-war, pre-1946 to 1999. So that's my cap rate evidence. Then I have the cap rate rebuttal.
We'll do the rebuttal after
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
So questions, Ms. Martins, on the presentation of the cap rates,
Just on the cap rates or the other presentation?
on the other presentation as well.
Okay. If we go to page 13, where there's a quarter point premium due to risk from low repair and maintenance because it hasn't been, it's because the renovations are 10 years old. I'm just trying to reconcile that in my head with the line on page 16, showing the $23,000+ of building interior, the 30,000 in suite upgrades, the almost 30,000. Oh, sorry, 31,000 in doors and windows, 27,000 in suite upgrades, and the 14,000 in HVAC. Are you still standing by that 0.25% premium for a lack of renovations in the past 10 years?
So you're referring to the 106,000 or so they spent in 2017 as being improvements. That is captured in the rents. And the improvements they did in 2010 were probably closer to $1 million or so. So yes, they have improved it. I'm not saying it has not been renovated. It has been renovated. So if you're buying the property, all the improvements and renovations they have is captured in the rent. So what you have as a picture going forward, what you have in the going forward is the income stream with only 779 repair and maintenance. So that is not sustainable. So a purchaser would know they would have to increase that. So whatever renovations already captured in the rent, now they have risk that repair and maintenance will be increasing.
Okay. Now the rental incentive being such a high, very high, it's 67,000 in rental incentives and 8,000 in move-in bonus, when the monthly charges are just over 600,000. That seems to be a really big number. Is that did you capture that in those discounts there?
And my discount
On page 15 in your row 2,
yeah.
it seems like there's a high amount of discounts there. Would you say?
Yeah, so I use the rents from line 3 after discounts. That's what the owner actually received. I'm not sure of your question though.
Okay, so because it said the monthly charges were 608,000, and you have here, and then you've applied the discounts. Oh, sorry, I was looking one line over. You've averaged it, and then I'm confused that it looks like there's 67,000, or did you incorporate the move-in bonuses with to get the 75,000?
Oh, so you're going with the questionnaire and you're trying to see where the 75,000 comes from?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Seems like 75,000 is a large discount. I'm just trying to reconcile in my head where the 75,000 is all coming from for out of 608,000.
Page 27.
Okay.
So they show monthly charges in 608, and they have rental incentives. It shows 67,000. They have a move-in bonus, 8,000. So the two put together comes to 75,000.
Okay.
And then the total revenue is shown there 553. We don't allow interest, so we would exclude that item from the income.
Are any of those rental incentives related to COVID?
No.
That's my questions. Thank you.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
Rebuttal for the cap rate study when we get around to that.
Okay. Okay, we'll just deal with questions from the panel first. Diane, questions
So when the vacancy rate is so low, why do we need such high rental incentives and bonuses?
I guess it's, they don't think they can get it on the market. So they're not increasing the rents. I don't know why they would not try.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going with the actual statements that they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Bill, questions?
I do not, thank you.
Okay, now Henry, you indicate you had a rebuttal.
Yes.
Do we need, oh, did we answer questions on the cap rate already? Study? We did, didn't we?
Well,
Um,
The
this was,
rebuttal? Sorry.
this was questions on the cap rate as well as the presentation.
Okay, yeah, okay, good.
Then
Thank you,
we'll
sorry.
do,
Is-
did you have questions on the cap rate, Dan?
No, I do not, no.
Okay, so Henry, you present your rebuttal and then Ms. Martins, I think you indicated you had a rebuttal as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Henry, you present your rebuttal first of all.
That's 34 pages, Henry?
42 pages.
The city's
Uh,
rebuttal, I think, is 42 pages.
Well, mine's in red,
No.
says rebuttal to assess a cap rate.
Oh, okay, got it now, got it, yeah. Okay,
Okay, if you all have that, so the first one is a rebuttal to 2390
Sorry,
McPhillip.
I don't have the rebuttal.
And you don't have it? Just 1 second, I'm gonna send you an email.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have it, Ms. Martins?
No,
Okay, should be coming. Got it?
Okay, let me know when you have it, Ms. Martins.
okay. No, I don't have it yet.
Send the email.
There it is.
All right, do you want to take a, well, Henry, proceeded with your rebuttal and
I didn't hear. So you say I can present my rebuttal now?
yes.
Okay. So the first page is the rebuttal to the assessor's cap rate, 2390 McPhillips. This is a newer property, and we don't have any newer properties today, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. But it would be just in context. I guess the older properties should have a higher cap rate than the newer ones, etc. But the purchaser ads after purchase indicate the rents went up by large amounts, 245 to 395 over the pro forma rents. And so we redid the cap rate by using CMHC rents within the reference date, because the purchaser ads are after the reference date. So we put in the market rent from CMHC on that kind of comparable. So that property was sold with below a market rents. It's unusual, but we did that particular exercise. So we got a different cap rate shown on the next page. So we come a cap rate 5.59 versus the assessor 4.79 or something like that. That's the main difference we have is on the rent. Then page 4, two of the assessors comparable, some of the same areas. The first one, the purchaser bought it with the intention to renovate, as per enclosed letter from property manager D7. So we have the letter further on. Purchaser was a first-time buyer. The property was in rough shape, with the previous owner doing nothing for repair. That was the manager's word. Nothing for repair. So the purchaser was buying with intention to fix it up. And so the purchaser was not buying with the existing income stream because he was going to change it by fixing the property up. And that's per municipal board decision. We should not be buying property where there's significant upgrades afterwards with intention to renovate that would change income stream. The next one, 32 Arden, same thing. The after purchase property was renovated, indicating intention when they bought. We have the ads showing that. And there's also the laundry income was missing for 2018. It showed for 2016, 2017, but not for 2018. We checked with the vendor, and he advised that they collected their own laundry, and that's why it did not show up in the Sussex statement. So the assessor's cap rate is incorrect on 32 Arden because they do not, they use it as a flawed income. And so we have the background information on the rest of the cap rate rebuttal. And so that's all I have to give on this. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Martin's questions on the rebuttal.
Yes. With the 2390 McPhillips, what was the date that the new owner increased the rents?
I don't know. I did a search in November 2022, and I found out the rents were 245 to 395 higher than what they were in the pro forma. I was a bit surprised that the rents were so much higher than what the cap rate indicated.
Okay, so to reflect that, I just haven't seen that did you create your own model to put different rents in, or were you looking at the post-reference rents that they were using and applying them here, or how, can you just go over one more time how you selected the rents for that?
Page 3 of the rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
And on the far right, we have the tables. Let's say actual rents below market, 1339. And then the first part of the tables is Shimichi vacancy for a year built 2005. And it shows 2020 what the vacancy is for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and the subject suite mix. It comes at 3.47. So we use the Shimichi vacancy. And
Okay.
then just below that, in bluish purple, Shimichi rents for 2005 plus 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. It shows what they are for 2020, 1317, 1557. And if we apply those rent a subject suite mix, it comes to 1528. And that's what I applied on line 3. 1528 is the rents. Shimichi rents for 2005 plus as of October 2020.
So you decided the rents that were used during, that were actually in place during the purchase were not applicable for this cap rate?
Yes, they were below market rent.
Okay. Now, sorry, which page? The letter that you got here from for 700 St. Mary's. Now, in the municipal board order, it mentions significant upgrades. And here it just mentions some renovation to the common areas of the building, such as repainting the halls and replacing the carpeting. Would you consider replacing the hall, the common area carpeting and painting the halls in the common area to be significant upgrade?
It's fixing up the place. I intended to do more, but COVID came, so you put the renovations on hold. But she told me verbally that they do intend to replace the appliances and the flooring on an ongoing basis.
Okay, that seems rather standard with the apartments.
Except when the property is in rough shape, the rent that they get is a low repair maintenance rents. And so they bought with the intention to increase the rents by renovating upon turnover. So they were not buying with the existing income stream because they intended to change it.
Okay, but he's now it says here also that funds have prevented him from proceeding any further.
Yes, it's COVID and funds have prevented him from proceeding any further. Yeah, he's a first-time buyer, and I guess he doesn't have much money as he thought he would need for doing those.
Okay, I was going to ask if he planned to renovate, would he not have seeked to secure financing as part of the process, which would then be part of impacting its reasonability to be used as a cap rate comparable? No.
No, I don't think he intended to get a loan to do the renovations all out at one time. It was to be done in a turnover as a switch came up. And so that he's doing as much as he can, but I would suggest that the assessor would show the revenue and expense for that building. It would show low rent and low repair maintenance.
Okay. Okay, those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions
No, I
on the
didn't.
rebuttal? Diane, on the
No,
rebuttal?
thanks. No.
Okay, Ms. Martins, you indicated you had a rebuttal?
Yes, I do have a rebuttal. I submitted it earlier.
Do we have that?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Let's see, which one is that?
A&T rebuttal.
That's the
A&T.
34-page one.
Yeah, okay, I see it. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Martins.
Okay, page 2 just shows the restabilized income and expense summary showing, I believe this is also in Henry's, the last pages that he's added on to his cap rate study. We do have the spreadsheets showing how we calculated through and the income information for it. We have some of the other lines are highlighted. We've got the revenues through for here. We do show the spreadsheets. So just going along, it's just the information supporting what we have said and what we've put in our spreadsheets. There's the, sorry, just looking for the St. Mary's. Okay, so yes, mostly we're looking at the restabilized income summary, just showing how we did our cap rates, and that we feel that some of these are unusable. Thank you very much.
Okay, questions, Mr. Dupont, on this?
Yeah, and your reasons for being unusable because the questionnaire said they did not rely on the income stream, something like that.
Yeah, it was, yes, purchaser, line 32, purchaser indicated that the purchase price was not based on the net operating income for the one. I can look for the others, but yes, there were extenuating circumstances in their mailers that we consider those to be unusable.
And then part of that question also asked if it was based on the net operating income, what was the cap rate? that's correct.
Um, I don't have the south view cap rate, just shows unusable. And on the other two, we have a 6 point, you can see on the chart, a 6.16 and a 6.1, but they are unusable.
Yeah, so that line could be just a reluctance of the purchasers having to tell the assessor what cap rate they used, and that maybe they did not rely on the actual and they adjusted it. So it's a very questionable question.
So it's their reluctance to adhere to legislation.
No, it's the way the question was asked that is kind of vague.
Well, it seems to me, Henry, we're getting speculative here.
Yeah. We'll stop the question in that regards. Thank you.
Okay. Diane, any questions?
I do not, thank you.
Bill, any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that then. We'll take a 10-minute break and then come back with another property. Okay, welcome back. We'll recommence with 26 Galen. So you can begin, Miss Martins.
You're mute, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. We'll start with file number 22-2213, roll number 03-093-006690. This is 26 Galen Place, roll year 2023, reference date April 1st, 2021. Assessed value $8,971,000. This is an apartment, one building with 6 stories. It was built in 1976 with 88 suites and 88 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 92,911 square feet, and the plan area is 945 square feet. On page 3, we have the income workup. There are 10 one-bedroom and 78 two-bedroom suites. We have an average monthly rent per unit at $1,014.29, giving us a gross potential rent of $1,071,090. We have a vacancy rate of 4.2%, an expense rate of 54.1%, giving us an NOI of $470,982, to which we've applied a capitalization rate of 5.25%, giving us our $8,971,000. We do have some rental comparables and our standard cap rate, and we've got the income and expense information here. And on the last page, page 26, there's a street view and an overhead view showing the property. And then we do have a small map showing that this is Galen is just off of Chancellor Drive. Thank you very much.
Okay, questions, Mr. Dupont?
No questions.
Diane, questions?
Have you been in this building or have any pictures of the interior?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
All right. Is this a rent geared to income property, or is it market?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
I said, is this a rent geared to income property, or is it market rents?
It is. It's a Sam Properties holding, so that is it's rental geared to income.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Dupont, you can begin.
We can go to the appendix, page 18. So it's what we tried to get from the internet. So it's an ad from Sam Management, and under the photos features, air conditioned units available. So that means they don't all have it. Appliances included, fridge and oven. I don't know, they should say stove, but I don't know if it's just the oven. But appears no dishwasher. And they don't say very much about it. This is 1 2-bedroom. It's an affordable housing program, fixed base rate, etc. And then we have the sections on the cap rate. Now I did not show the evidence on the sale price, but I will get to that. So we can go back to the first page. See the first page, the photo, apartment block with balconies, 6 stories. No, I don't have the close up, but I believe there's some windows open, etc. So, the questionnaires, I should look at the questionnaires also. What do I have? Page 33. The description page. So for air conditioning, where central or wall, they don't check anything. It says 6 washers, 6 dryers, so they have that at the end of the corridors. And parking says 99 stalls, and shows a suite mix there, 9 and 79. So they don't give that much information on it. Then page 34 shows the rent received and the subsidies. Subsidies are greater than the rent. So back to, we can go to the aerial photo, page 7. Shows it's at the end of Galen Place. And relatively large lot with parking, outside parking. And then the Google map shows it's west of Pembina, south of Bishop Grandin. You would have to go, I guess, off Chancellor Drive to get the Galen Place. And the cap rate, we said the assessor is 5.3. We're at 6%. And the assessor is actually 5.25. So that's built 1976, 6 stories. So he falls in the age group 5.5. We give it the 0.5% premium due to negative factors, social housing, budget finishes. To the income approach, the page 15. Shows the information on top of the page. 99 parking for 88 suites, which is pretty good. Suite size are not bad. Suite mix is pretty good. The main thing negative about this is a social housing. Assessor rent on that is relatively high, 1,014 per suite. We don't dispute the rent. And we don't dispute the expense or anything, so we don't dispute the NOI. So the line 34, the only thing we do is we apply a cap rate 6%, which is 0.75% dispute over the assessor, but our base cap rate is 0.25% higher than the assessor to start with. Then remarks is a social and affordable housing sale April 30th, 2018 for 11 million. Less 34% for capital allowance credit. So MHRC gave them a credit off the price, and they give them a forgivable loan also, and they had 3 properties. And that forgivable loan was forgiven at the end of the amortization for 25 years. So Sam had to keep it as social housing until the mortgage was paid off. That's my submission. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Ms. Martins?
Just so the sale price was just over $11.1 million. And how did the credit and forgivable loans, how was it divided between these 3 properties? Do you have any other detail about that?
Yeah, I have the statement of adjustment, and it was for all 3 properties put together. I believe the forgivable loan was 25% of the sale price. So if we went with percentage, they would have sold for 34% less due to capital allowance, and then forgivable loan, it's a loan, another 25%. So almost half of that is what they actually paid.
Any information about how they came up with the sale price of 11.1 million?
No, that's just, okay. It's a sale price they had. So they had I guess the value, a face value, 11 million. Then they give 2 deductions.
Thank you.
Okay, questions, Diane?
I do not.
Bill?
You had a base cap rate of 6%. Is that where you started out?
5.5 is the base, and then we had 5%. So the base for our age group, and that's per our cap rate study and the essentially rebuttal, we're basically in agreement on the base, and then we add the 0.5% cap rate. Our model cap rates are not the same as our cap rate comparables, but the base is 5.5. Yeah.
All right, no further questions.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, let's move on to item 5, 100 Ulster. Okay, on 100 Ulster, Ms. Martins, you can begin.
This is file number 22-2603, roll number 03-0451-80200, 100 Ulster Street. For the roll year 2023, with reference date of April 1st, 2021, the assessed value is $8,691,000. This is an apartment building. There are 6 buildings, 1 to 2 stories each, built in 1970. There are 68 suites, 35 indoor parking spots, 46 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 145,178 square feet. The plan area is 39,720 square feet.
Excuse me, what property are we dealing with?
100
Ulster, 100 Ulster.
100 also, okay.
On page 3, we have the income workup. We see that the units, we have 12 1-bedroom, 32 bedroom, 23 bedroom, and 6 4-bedroom units, with an average monthly rent per unit of $1,256.04. We have a gross potential rent of $1,024,929. We've applied a 4.2% vacancy rate and a 52.2% expense rate, giving us an NOI of $469,340. We've then applied a 5.4% capitalization rate giving us the 8,691,000. On page 13, we have some pictures. On top, we've got a street view. It's difficult with all the trees and the size of the property. And in the middle, we've got an overhead view that shows the variety of buildings. And then we've got the a small map at the bottom, just showing that where this is in relation to Dalhousie Drive. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Dupont?
No questions.
Okay, Diane, questions?
No questions, thank you.
Bill?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, just looking at your photos then, it seems to have a mix of outdoor parking and then looks like some covered parking. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the
Okay,
information that we have.
all right. Thank you very much. So then you can begin, Henry, on your presentation.
Oops, I rotated the wrong way. So now upside down, so it's not too easy to read.
You can read it from Australia.
Yeah. So the big thing with this one is a multi-story garden style apartment. We use high repair maintenance. So we have to go to the photos first and the appendix. So you'll see they have two types of building in that complex. So the first one is an apartment. You can see the apartment there in the first photo. The next photo is the townhouses they have, and then there's a road there, their own internal road. And then the next photo says laneways and garages. And you can see the garages on the right. That's their
Okay,
indoor
which
park.
which page are you on now, Henry?
Page 3.
Oh, page 3. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So they have their laneway and they have the garages there. And then you can see on the left they have some outdoor parking as well as some garage parking. Now the laneways and garages is nice. You can capture that in the rent, but it's high repair maintenance because they have to take care of these two extra items. We have another photo after that of the apartment. So the aerial photo, page 8. So you see page 8, you see where there's jagged, those are the apartments, and where you have a rectangle building, these are the apartments. So there's 2 apartments. And then where the red dot is, across from the apartment is the garage. So you'll see on that lot, there's 4 garages. And there's 2 laneways, 2 L-shaped laneways. So that's the setup of this building. And just to the right, there's another property that Alaco owns. So it shows 2 internal, the note says 2 internal laneways and 4 multiple car garages. Then the map, page 9, shows where it is, off Dalhousie, east of Pembina. Then we can go to the appendix and the photos. So our appendix starts page 19. So this is apartments for rent, Fort Richmond. Underneath I have Richmond Village, and I redacted the rents that they're asking because this is a current ad. There has features, amenities, on-site staff, secured entrance, laundry facilities, balcony, 3rd floors. These are the apartments here, air conditioning, window. And then they have the photos. They have the amenities there. I showed there again on page 20. The photos is shown. It appears to be carpeting in the living room. And the next photo is the dining room with tile floor. And then it shows the carpeting from the living room.
Looks like area
Bedroom. Did you say something?
No, I was speaking out loud. I should have been quiet. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And the bedroom, they have their own rug, so I'm not too sure, but it's some kind of brown floor. And then the 3 and 4 bedroom shows page 23. These are townhouses. This is features and amenities, washer and dryer in suite. So the townhouses have in suite. They have fridge, stove, and dishwasher. So that's 5 appliances that they have to take care of for repair and maintenance. Features amenities, central air, full basement. So they got basements on top of that, and the townhouses. Then they have the plan for a 3 bedrooms townhouse. Don't have too much comment except it's quite large. And they have the basement on top of that, 17 feet by 33 feet. So the large suites are the size, etc., are captured in the rents, but it's still more maintenance for the owner on a per suite basis because 3 bedrooms is more maintenance than 1 or 2 bedrooms. Then we have the aerial photo, page 25 of 125 Allegheny, also at the hearing here today. And it's just the reverse mirror image. They also have the 2 apartments, the 4 garages, and the 2 L-shaped laneways. So they're exactly the same. And they just divided that lot in 2, and they shared a courtyard in the middle. Then we'll have the 100 Ulster on page 26. So we will repeat that. It's just the reverse of Allegheny. And then to the south of it is 160 Ulster as the also part of this complex. The leasing office is at 160 Ulster for all 3 of those. And 160 Ulster not under appeal here today, but it's all townhouses. Then we have the financial statements, which we have to go through also. Sorry, page 33. It shows the description pages, 35 indoor, 46 outdoor. These are those garages. It shows their suite mix. They also have the 4 bedrooms. That's in the townhouses. And the 1 and 2 bedrooms are 12 and 30 suite. Those would have 3 appliances. The other ones would have 5 appliances. And the questionnaires they have is the handwritten ones. So page 34, it shows the repair maintenance there, 303,437. There's no detail of that. That's just a figure. Compared to some other statements, it gives the details, so we don't have the detail. But the page 35, where the assessor's questionnaire asks for capital cost summary, LACRO fills that in for each and every year. So they show building and kitchens that year, 137,338. And we'll show that in our repair maintenance spreadsheet. So that you got a similar page 37. It will show building and kitchens, 108. Then for 2018 is shown on page 39, building and kitchens again, 181. In 2017, it will show building and kitchens again. And 2016, it has HVAC 149,000, and then kitchens 44,000. So those are the figures that we show on our repair minutes spreadsheet. So we've gone through the photos and the map. So I believe we can go to the cap rate section, which is on page 14. The assessor's at 5.4 and our cap rate for that age group is 5.5. We did not add a cap rate premium. It's a high maintenance property. We could add a premium for that. Somebody buying this will have to be spending more than normal repair maintenance. It's multi-building. So you got multiple roofs, multiple hot water tanks, multiple appliances, multiple exterior services, multiple wood balconies and patios and whatever. But we did not add a premium. So the next page, the income approach. The line 1 shows the potential rent, saying there's no discount. Line 3 shows the rents, and so 2016 was 912, and they're 1,087,000 by 2020. So they've increased the rents. Line 4 and 5, the vacancy. So they have fairly high vacancy. So they're spending money on repair maintenance, and they're spending money on their kitchens over the years, as you saw. And they're trying to get higher rents from that. They are getting higher rents, but they're getting pushback from the market. So they have high vacancy also. So they had 11.6% vacancy by 2020. 3-year vacancy was 8.8, and we stabilized at a 3-year average. So it's we're doing 30,000 less vacancy than an actual. Then we had the laundry and parking. So line 13, we're at 1,000,001. We're slightly higher than the assessor. And we have the remarks that EGI increased 10% since 2017. So they've increased the rents as they went along, as they were doing their upgrades in the kitchen and spending the high repair and maintenance. So the expenses, we stabilize normal way for every item. Line 27, the repair maintenance, we stabilize at 3,000 per suite, which is on the high side, but that's what they're spending, and it's a type of building that requires a high repair maintenance. So line 35, we don't give it a cap rate premium. We're just 0.10 higher than the assessor because that's what our cap rate indicates for the base. There's good condition, it's high maintenance, and page 17 is the repair maintenance. So we show the page 17, 16. Extraordinary repairs, and we went through that in the questionnaires. But I do have the description on top, the top line in blue. So they had HVAC and kitchens in 2016, and the other 3 years they had building and kitchens. 2020, they just said other. But when we stabilized, we did not stabilize at any of those amounts. These would be non-recurring items, capital expenditure. And then the remaining repair minutes is shown at the bottom. And it's very consistent. It's a mid 300,000 virtually every year. So we stabilize at the 5-year average, excluding the repair, extraordinary repairs and the waste and snow. So that comes to, no, sorry, the 5-year average is 337,000, and we defaulted to 204,000, much less than actual. So we stabilize at 3,000, and the actual, the dispense for repair minutes, excluding the capex and excluding the waste and snow, that's 5,000, 5,100, 4,900, 53, 48, 44. So the average 4,900 per suite for other repair maintenance, and we maxed it at 3,000 per suite. So I believe we're quite conservative in doing so. But that's the type of money they're spending on this property. So back to the page 15, after we put the 3,000 per suite, our net income line 33, we're 392 versus the assessor 466. Our expense ratio is 61% versus the assessor 53. And when we apply the 5.5 cap rate, we get 7,138,39 rounded our value versus the assessor at 8,691. And that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Ms. Martins?
Yes. Now the repair and maintenance costs, are these specific to this building? Are they like what was actually spent on this building, this property?
Yes, it is. Questionnaires is for this building, yeah.
Okay, so on page, sorry, it's double written. I think it's page 33.
Yes.
When it says weighted average, what are the income information for the full year? Why are we doing a weighted average?
Weighted average of the rents. Where do you see that?
It says enter the following income information for the full year if the property was purchased under suite rental income, and there's a star there, and it says weighted average at October 31st, 2020.
The below is the weighted average over the years, over that year. So on average, the 12 bedrooms had 1132 in rent. So that 1,094 is the weighted average of the rents.
Okay.
And what they actually received was 961 on the next page. After the
all these
vacancy.
expenses were for specifically 100 Ulster Avenue. Oh, sorry, 100 Ulster Street.
Yes, the questionnaire says 100 Ulster.
Okay, thank you.
They're allocating the expenses. So they do a total expense and they allocate, I believe 125 Allegheny has the exact same expenses, except maybe for tax. So they allocate the repair maintenance and all the things. So they just repeat the expenses. The rents are site specific. The expenses are an allocation of the project complex, including Allegheny.
So the expenses are just between 100 Ulster and 125 Allegheny, and they combined the expenses and split it between the two?
Yes, because I noticed the questionnaires for both have exactly same insurance costs and
Yeah.
repair maintenance, etc.
They've got all the exact same expenses for everything. Okay, thank you.
All right, Diane, any questions?
Page 20, where is that not wood flooring underneath the TV part there? So is that maybe just area rugs they put down? Same as in the page 22 in the bedroom, it looks like there's wood flooring there with area rug under the bed.
Yeah, that's an area rug for sure. And then the floor, I'm not sure because it's brown. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
It doesn't look like laminate flooring, but it's we can't determine what it is.
And then on your page 15, the insurance again. So it goes 18,000, 18,000, 27, 35. The average is 27, but you use the 35.
Yeah, we always use the most current year, unless it's something unusual, and then we use 3-year average. But
so why was that year insurance so high?
I guess maybe because the
10,000, 15,000 over the other 2 years, and then another 8,000 over the previous year.
Yeah, the insurance has been going up 18, 27, 35, so that maybe they just insuring for more money because they're putting money in the rehab for the kitchens. So it's not terribly out of line with the 2019, the 2020. So that's why I did not use any average.
Okay. And then the vacancy rate, 8.8 to 4.2. Would the vacancy not be higher if they're doing all these repairs each year? Would take more time to do the repairs in between occupancies?
It's such I brought that up in previous hearing. We have brought it up to LACRO, and LACRO was not quite pleased by assessor speculating that the vacancy was due to their improvements.
I'm asking you if it's due to the improvements. I'm not speculating. I'm asking you if that 8.8 has something to do with the improvements each year. Because the last 4 years they've done improvements, and it looks like when you look at their vacancy on their I&E, it's 778. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the improvements.
That's how it operates. LACRO has said that the replace flooring or appliances is done without any loss of vacancy. So they have told me in the past that their vacancy is a true vacancy, is never due to renovations, because
Okay, all right, that's all. That answers the question then. Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
Those garages heated?
I doubt it. I'm not sure. I just went with the financial statements. I didn't ask any further questions on that.
Kind of looks like they're just more carports than garages.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
Observation.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they were heated. The hydro bill line 20 is only 2.2%. It's relatively low. I doubt if they're heated, but I can't say for sure.
Okay, no further questions. Thanks.
Okay, and I have no questions. So we will move on then to the sister property, 125 Allegheny. Let me pull up the files. Okay, on 125 Allegheny, Ms. Martins, you can begin.
Thank you. This is file number 22-2535, roll number 03-0451-85200, 125 Allegheny Drive, roll year 2023, reference date April 1st, 2021. The assessed value is $8,711,000. This is an apartment. We have 6 buildings, 1 to 2 stories, built in 1970, 68 suites, 28 indoor parking spots, and 53 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 145,132 square feet. The plan area is 39,678 square feet. On page 3, we have the income workup. Mix of units, we have 12 one-bedroom, 32 bedroom, 23 bedroom, and 6 4-bedroom, equaling 68 units. The average monthly rent per unit is $1,293.45, giving us a gross potential income of $1,055,455. We've applied a vacancy rate of 4.2% and an expense rate at 53.48%, giving us a net operating income of $470,376. To that, we've applied a 5.4% capitalization rate, giving us the $8,711,000. And we should be a little bit familiar with this, looking at the page 13, the street view, and then the aerial view shows that it's next door to the previous property, and again, the map at the bottom. And that is my presentation. Thank you.
All right, questions, Henry?
No questions.
Okay, Diane, questions?
I think all my questions apply from the other properties, so I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill, any questions?
I do not.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if anything hinges on that, but if this is a mirror image of the previous property, why do we have different rental rates, different expense rates? Is that just an artifact from the model?
Yes,
All right. Cap rates are the same. So, all right. Henry, you can proceed then.
All right, so the financial statements or appendix is virtually the same. However, I did take different photos. So I went with the Google map all around. So I got the photos are different. So if you go to page 2, that's the first photo is the townhouses, and that's for specifically this property in Allegheny. Townhouses, the rear second photo. Then we show the apartment. And page 3. The funny thing about the garages, all the doors are open at all times. I don't think they have garage doors. I don't think they're heated because they're always open. The next page shows the laneway garages, and there the garages they're all open also. So I think they're just carports. And then the next photo, page 4, is also another laneway with another set of garages that is open. Then the other laneway garage, the third photo, same thing. They're all open. Then if you go to page the income approach, I got both of them open, and they're exactly the same revenue and expense. So I thought maybe the rents would be different, etc., but they're not. So the Ladco just took both and divided by 2. So the net operating income is exactly the same as the other property, 392,000, and we got the same exact value as the other property, 7,139,000. And that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Burns, any questions?
just the same as last time, that the expenses are divided between the 2 properties.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
I think the real difference between the 2 properties is the number of indoor parking and outdoor parking. Is that really the only difference that would create the difference in the revenue? 28 indoor, 53 outdoor on this one. The last property had 35 indoor, 46 outdoor.
I believe the questionnaire says 35, 46 for both.
Is
The
it?
assessor,
Okay.
the assessor may have different.
Maybe I missed that.
So my page 36 for this one says 35 and 46.
Yeah, the assessor has 28 and 53.
Okay. So the assessor is different. But the questionnaire that we have says 35, 46. And I have the Huddle Ulster questionnaire open, is also set 35, 46.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Then we will go to 51 Edgeland. Again, let me open the files. Okay, Ms. Martins, you can begin on 251 Edgeland.
Thank you. This is file number 22-1063. Roll number 12073855000. 251 Edgeland Boulevard for the roll year 2023 with the reference date of April 1st, 2021. We have assessed value of $6,461,000 to class code 20G and $428,000 to class code 40E, giving us a total assessed value of $6,889,000. This is an apartment, one building with 13 stories, built in 1973. There are 119 suites with 71 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 55,873 square feet with a plan area of 7,135 square feet. On page 3, we have the workup information, and you can see it's split into two income streams. It shows that there are 94 bachelor suites with 24 one-bedroom and 1 two-bedroom, giving us a total of our 119 suites. The average monthly rent per unit is $646.10. Under class code 20G, we have a gross potential rent of $922,631. To that, we've applied a vacancy rate of 3.2% and an expense rate of 62.02%. And the net operating income that we get from that is $339,202. To that, we've applied a 5.25% capitalization rate, and that works out to the $6,461,000. Now over on the next income stream of under 40E, we have a gross potential rent of $33,301. We have a 6% vacancy rate. We have $7 per square foot for shortfall, an expense rate of 3%, giving us an NOI of $29,337. We've then applied a 6.85% capitalization rate, giving us the $428,000, which adds up to our $6,889,000. We do have some comparables for both rental streams. And then there are pictures on page 14. The top one is the street view showing the apartment building. And on the bottom, we've got the overhead view showing a bit better representation of what it looks like on the property. And then we have the map showing that this is on Edgeland Boulevard, and it's over between Tuxedo Avenue and Gordon Avenue. Thank you.
All right, questions, Henry?
So what is that retail?
I'm not sure what is in there, but considering it is exempt, I would say potentially a daycare. But
So it's totally exempt. Okay, okay,
yeah, it's exempt.
okay. It's all questions I have.
Okay, Diane, questions?
That's a lot of empty property next to the building in that picture. Could
Yes,
that
ma'am.
potentially be redeveloped in your overhead picture on page 14?
I would assume so. It does look like there is enough space for something.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
It's on your workup income streams. Just curious how you arrived at the retail gross potential rent of 33,301.
That would be not sure what the rental rate used there is. I'm not sure of the square footage for that. Just a moment, please. The leasable area for that space is 2,445 square feet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then you just yeah, calculated it using a square foot.
Yeah.
Good. No further questions.
Okay. And I have no questions that haven't been asked and answered. So Henry, you can begin.
Yeah, so first page, show the photo, and we show assessment to be determined at the hearing. The assessor's website, we're showing the income approach from 2020 and not the current income approach. I did not know what the assessors had. So we don't dispute the net income, but I didn't know what it was. So I dispute the cap rate only. We don't have, I believe in the appendix, because it's MHRC, we don't have any photos or ads. So the cap rate page 11. So this property built it says 1959. That's wrong again, eh? Built 1973. But I had the right, so 6 stories plus. So the base cap rate for this age is 5.5. And it says on top we're using 6%. We're using 6.25. But the suite size, that is accurate because the suite areas per the assessor is shown on the next page. So they have low area per suite. And she has stated bachelors were 94 bachelors, 34 one bedroom, 24 one bedroom. So that's 94% bachelors. That could be wrong. I have to check my maths again. So the next page, 79%. Okay. So the next page, so the area that the city had was 72,000.
Hey, what
so
page are we on now?
Page 12. So the previous page, I have I have it wrong for the amount of the suite mix. But at the top of page 12, I have it right. So I showed the outdoor parking 71 is the same as the assessor, and that's 60% of the total suites. And then the studio or bachelors. Well, actually, they show studios 94. Let me check the. We should go check the appendix then. No, don't have that. Does the assessor have the questionnaire? No. Anyways, the Cedar Studio or Bachelor, 79% Cedar Studio or Bachelor, so it's inferior. Gross floor area is inferior 607 square feet. But we do have the square footage there, 327,431,654. We should have a source for that. And maybe we did for the previous report, but that's what I'm showing here. So the page 12, so that the if we use the assessor's net income 339,202 divide by 6 to quarter, our value is 5,427,000. And that would be my report. Thank you.
Any questions, Ms. Martins?
All right, can you just repeat, please, what the final value is?
5,427,000. Plus you have to add in the daycare.
Yeah, the daycare, I don't dispute that, sorry.
Okay. So no change to the daycare amount that you're
No.
requesting?
No.
No other questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
Just to clarify for myself, you're okay with the cap rate from the city, or not the cap rate, the NOI, but you're changing the cap rate to 6.25 because you've included a 0.50 adjustment due to the low income housing. And you're keeping the 428 is fine for the daycare.
Yes.
Thank you.
The premium is not just for social housing, the fact to have so many bachelors and so many small suites.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bill, questions?
Yeah, so the final value then for the apartment is 5,427,000.
Yes.
But the total for the property is 5,855,000, correct?
I didn't do the adding, but yeah, you just had the undisputed daycare.
Yeah, that's what I come up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no questions either, so thank you for that. Let's move on to 620 Guelph. Okay, Ms. Martins on 620 Guelph.
Okay, this is file number 22-2580. Roll number 12012771800, 620 Guelph Street. For the roll year 2023 with reference date of April 1st, 2021, the assessed value is $3,203,000. This is an apartment, one building with 2 stories. It was built in 1970. There are 37 suites and 36 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 32,525 square feet. The plan area is 11,160 square feet. On page 3, we have our income summary. We have 3 bachelor units, 26 one-bedroom, 8 two-bedroom, giving us our 37 units. We've applied an average monthly rent per unit of $891.43, giving us a gross potential rent of $395,795, a vacancy rate of 3.2%, an expense rate of 52.35%, giving us an NOI of $182,561. To that, we've applied a 5.7% capitalization rate, giving us the $3,203,000. The pictures on the last page show the street view and the overhead view, and the map showing it's just off Taylor between Harrow and Wilton. And that is all. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Dupont?
Now your comparables, that you have to page 4.
Yes.
The one is 880 Cambridge, 1970. What's the stories you have on that? 10 stories, so it's a high rise, and the subject is a low rise, 2 stories. So would you agree
On
that's not?
Sorry, which
Your rent comparables, page 4.
on page 4?
There's no
Okay.
Cambridge.
Yeah, comparable number 3 is a 10-story building.
No.
No.
Are you sure that you're on the right docket? On the right page?
Oh, sorry, I'm at 630 Guelph. Okay. So 620 Guelph is what file number? 2580? Yeah, okay.
Sorry, it is, yes, it's 2580.
Okay. So 271 Wellington Crescent would be superior area. You would agree with that? Your comparable number 2?
Depending on where on Wellington Crescent that actually is. Do you know what the cross streets are on that one?
No, it comes out as a better area. Do you know if any of these properties have been renovated?
No, not off the top of my head.
And your last comparable is a bit strange. It's built 1945. It's wood compared to subject 1970 masonry. Why are you showing this particular property?
Because when I was looking at the, I wasn't looking at the construction class, really. I was looking at the number of stories. So these are all 2 or 3 story buildings. And the number of units are between 22 and 42 units. And they have a suite mix that includes bachelor, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom, with smaller per square foot areas. So I thought that these were the most comparable. I do see that the 2 are the wood or steel stud as opposed to being masonry bearing walls, but I don't know if I agree that that impacts the amount of rent that people are willing to pay to reside there.
That's all questions I have.
Okay, Diane, questions?
I have none, thank you.
Bill?
I have none, thank you.
Okay, proceed, Henry.
Yeah, first page, you'll see the photo it has, so that the basement suite with the low window. So there's not much view from those basement suites. Then we can go to aerial photo. Page 7. You'll see that it has parking on 2 sides. And then the Google map is shown next on page 8. So it's west of Pembina, not far from Taylor. And I guess within walking distance of Grant Park Shopping Center. Cap rate, do we agree with the assessor's cap rate? 5.70. So the previous page where I show 5.75 is wrong, but we agree with the assessor's cap rate, so that's not the problem. Page 14, the income approach. That we show the income that it has. We apply the assessor's vacancy, laundry and parking, line 13. We're 329 versus assessor 383. That's our main dispute is on the rent. The line 3, they're actually getting 727 rent. And that's what we use. And that has to do with how much money they spend on the property for repair and maintenance. So we stabilize the expenses normal way, the actual expenses for certain items, some with 3-year average, and the repair and maintenance, we stabilize that separately, and it's shown on the next page. So page 15, extraordinary repairs is very little. They have roof repairs now and then. We stabilized that. We only added $19 for repairs. We added some windows and doors and parking lot repairs. And those are small amounts, also $30 and $11 per suite. Flooring replacement, some years had none, some are very low. We stabilized at the 5-year average, which is only $43 per suite versus a benchmark of $500. The appliance replacement is also very low, 58 per suite versus benchmark 225, and painting is very low, 51 versus benchmark 225. So they're not doing very much upon turnover, and that would indicate why they're getting the lower rents in the assessor. It's the physical condition it has. For the rest of the expenses, we excluded one high year, the plumbing in 2019, and the rest is based on 5-year average. So the stabilized repair maintenance is 1,076 per suite, which is relatively low. They should be 1,500 to 2,000, and they're quite low. So they're deferred maintenance and not taking care of the suites very well. Now the ad is shown on page 18, and it's towers, and you see these suite features. It does not say renovated like some other properties they had. They have no interior photos on their website, and all the other properties the towers have, they show interior photos, so they don't want to show interior photos. So if we go back to page 14, after we put the low repair maintenance is 1,000 per suite. Line 31, our expenses 175,000, which is less than the assessor of 200,000. So we have less expenses. Expense ratio is a bit higher, but the dollar amount is less. So net operating income is 153,712, which is about 29,000 less than the assessor. And most of that difference is in the rents, line 13. And that's based on site specific, just about 53,000 less in rents, but it's offset by having less expenses. And because of the low repair maintenance and low flooring and appliance replacement, that's the rent they should have, and that's what the market is for that apartment. And that's my submission. Thank you.
All right, questions, Ms. Martin?
No, thank you.
Okay, questions, Diane?
Do not have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Bill?
Yes, on page 14, I believe this question has been asked before, but maybe I didn't quite catch it the first time, but I think I do this time. So I'd like to get your answer again on the line 15 management fee. you using an allowance of 5% for that line item? Is that correct?
Yes, which is less than actual, so we're consistent. All properties that go to this board, municipal board, are always 5%, no matter what the actuals are.
You have the actuals outlined somewhere?
Oh, and the questionnaires? Okay. That would be page, we start page 23. You have to rotate.
Yeah, I always have to do that.
They'd be
Okay, management fees. 17,943.
Yeah, it shows there at the kind of in the middle of the page there of expenses.
Really pretty close. Okay. That's the other one. Thank you.
Okay, my question is on their questionnaire for 2020, which is, I guess, your page 22. They show the potential rent at 100% occupancy of basically 329,000. And you're showing on your spreadsheet 324,000. Why the $5,000 difference?
Because we take it from page 23. The monthly charge, the financial statement. So normally the rents that they come up on that description page is different from what they actually collect, because some could be weighted averages, so it could be the rent at the end of the year. We normally go with what the revenue and expense page indicates. Sometimes
Okay.
we go when it doesn't show any vacancy. Sometimes we use that figure, then we do the difference between actual collected and that figure as being vacancy. But we normally just go with what the financials indicate as actual income.
Okay, thank you for that then. Let's move on to our last property, 630 Guelph. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right, Ms. Martins, you can begin.
Yes, this is file number 22-3158, roll number 12012789600, 630 Guelph Street. For the roll year 2023 with reference date of April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value of $3,390,000. This is an apartment, one building, 2 stories, built in 1969. There are 31 suites with 33 outdoor parking spots. The land area is 31,736 square feet with a plan area of 9,567 square feet. On page 3, we have our income summary. This shows that we have 2 bachelor suites, 21 one-bedroom suites with 8 two-bedroom suites. The average monthly rent per unit is $991.37. We have a gross potential rent of $368,790. To that, we've applied a 3.2% vacancy rate and a 45.88% expense rate. That gives us our NOI of $193,202. To that, we've applied a 5.7% capitalization rate, giving us the $3,390,000. We do have the comparables and the income and expense information. And at the back page, we have, again, the street view and the overhead view and the map, just showing again, it's just off Taylor between Wilton and Harrow. Thank you.
Okay, Henry, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
Are these mirror apartments at 620 and 630, but two different owners? Is that kind of what I'm thinking?
I thought they were the same owner.
One's Guelph Gardens and one's Guelph Investments, I think.
Oh, then yes, I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'm not
thank
sure
you.
if they're separate.
Okay. Just a little bit difference in the amount of bedrooms, all right? Just a little different size of one bedrooms and bachelors.
Okay, Bill, any questions?
They look like they're a little bit different size too.
Mhm.
The picture, is that your square foot says? Just
And
bear
the
with,
shape is a little bit different. If you look at the overhead view on the last page, they're shaped slightly different.
yeah. Okay, no further question.
Okay, so proceed, Henry, then on your presentation.
Yeah, so there's different owners in this globe, and the repair maintenance is about double, I believe, than the other one. So that's totally different amount of care they get. So it makes it for different rents and different expenses. So the first page shows the photo, the type of property it is. So in one way, it's similar. It looks similar. So basement suites and the parapet, there are shingles with shingles on top. The aerial photo shown on page 7, parking on two sides. And the map, Google Map. So then we should go to the appendix. Globe General manages, and the other one was Towers. Then the features amenities are shown there. It just says dishwasher. It says, please note that these features do not apply to all suites. So some suites have dishwashers, some don't. And they don't say renovated anywhere. They say it's a lovely apartment. And then they have, I have plans. So the 2 bedrooms are 882 square feet, which is not bad size. Individually, the living rooms are good size, 22 by 11, typical for these older properties. The good size living room, but the other rooms are small. So the dining room is only 8.9 by 8 feet. Kitchen is only 7.8 by 6.6. Bedroom's only 9 feet wide. It's long, but it's only 9 feet wide. And the bedroom, second bedroom's 10 by 9, so very relatively small. The next plan is the 1 bedroom, 673 square feet. So that's relatively small again. So there again, they have nice large living room, small dining room, small kitchen, relatively narrow master bedroom, but it's not bad, 14 by 11. The bachelors are small, 38 square feet. There again, nice living area, nice size. The kitchen is only 3 feet wide, so it's tiny. Then you have the photos, page 23. The flooring appears to be some kind of vinyl. It's not laminate. The area rugs, or could be the low pile carpet. The kitchen looks quite nice. But still laminate countertop and relatively plain covers, but in good shape. The planches are white, not stainless steel. Bedroom appears to be low pile carpet. So we go back to the income approach, which would be page 14. You see at the bottom 5.7 cap rates. We don't dispute the cap rate. The rents that it has is pushing the rents, and they're getting vacancy pushback from the market. So that over the years, the last 4 years, at 6.7, 7%, 4.1, 5.7. We stabilized the 3-year average 5.6, which is slightly less than actual 2020. That's mainly because they're pushing the rent. They're getting 987 per suite. The assessor's at 991. When you see the suite index above, only 2 bachelors, 21 one bedroom. So you saw the plan there. So I believe it was 673, something like that. So the relatively small one bedroom. But line 13, we're higher than the assessor, about 8,000 higher than the assessor, 7,000, I guess. And then the expenses, all stabilize in normal way. The repair maintenance, line 27, we stabilize in 1935 per suite. And we'll have the breakdown further. I guess we can go to that there now. So the next page is the repair maintenance, page 15. They had some extraordinary repairs in 2016, but nothing after that. We did not allow for any stabilization there. We've allowed some parking lot because it's small amounts and they're recurring, so it's only 21 per suite. The general building, these are the items that are not categorized elsewhere. They're usually a bunch of small items. Nevertheless, we went at 50%. Flooring replacement is at 315 per suite, which is, we say it's medium because the benchmark is 500. They have appliance maintenance and flooring maintenance. Most other owners do not show that, but they do repair. They save some money that way. Painting, we max it out at 225, which is 58% of the benchmark. And typical of Globe, they virtually paint. They told me they paint virtually every suite that comes on turnover. So they may have higher than normal painting. We've seen some properties where they had no painting at all in the year, but Globe paints every suite that comes for turnover. So they do very good maintenance on the painting. Other items, we excluded some of the high years, the electrical and plumbing, they're shown in red. So we excluded some years. The grounds at the bottom, we excluded the high year also. So we stabilize each individual item. It comes to 1935 per suite at the bottom. And it compares to the last line, the actual that he spent, excluding the CapEx and the waste and snow, we're spending 2,700 up to 3,200, etc. But after we stabilize and remove some items, we're down to 1935. And that's what we put in the previous page. And that's how they get the higher rents. We believe the rents always match with the repair and maintenance. And so our expenses are higher than the assessor. Our rents are higher, so there's no dispute there. So the main dispute comes in the expenses because we don't dispute the cap rate, and our rents are a bit higher than the assessor. So all comes into the expenses is the main dispute. And that's my report. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we can't hear you.
Okay, sorry. The phone was ringing, so I had muted my microphone. Sorry about that. It was probably just Visa security again. Any questions, Ms. Martins?
No, thank you very much.
Okay. Diane, any questions?
No, thank you.
Bill, any questions?
Yeah, just kind of a general question in summary about your income and expense reports that you use in all your items here. So this is something that your organization puts together, correct?
Yes,
So you would get the information from the client for this?
yes, we do. Most of them are published on the city's website. And when the client sends it to the city, then we get most of our data from the city website instead of from the client directly.
So this client's income from this property, their records, whatever reporting system they use for whatever purpose, would match what you have on here, correct?
The revenue and expense, yes, the repair maintenance, we get extra data from the owner to get a breakdown of the repair maintenance.
So you asked the owner for that data for the repair and maintenance?
Yes, we get the general ledgers for that because they report only one line for repair maintenance. So every reassessment, they send us their general ledgers on all their properties.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, I have no questions, so thank you very much for your presentations. We have heard all the items scheduled today, and this hearing is now adjourned. So thank you to both parties for your competent presentations here.
Thank you very much.
And we'll just take a very brief break, and then we'll come back for our deliberations. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.